Hi, I'm Andrew Spieler.
And I'm Mary Hope Rennie.
And you're watching or listening to Behind the Sign, Real Stories from Real Estate. Welcome to episode 42 here of Behind the Sign. And we have a special guest with us today to my right. Mary Hope, you want to introduce our special guest?
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, Kris. This is Kris LaBrake. She is a realtor with Keller Williams Metropolitan. How many years have you been a realtor, Kris?
10 years.
10 years.
With KW. Mm-hmm.
10 years. Okay. So, Kris, I know this, but they don't know it. You've had a few careers before this one. Mm-hmm. Tell us, previous to real estate, what got you to this point? So where were you? Do you have children? You know, all those things that brought you to, because 10 years ago, neither of us are 20. Mm-hmm. So it's not like it's been half of our life, right?
Correct.
Just guessing that.
Mm-hmm.
So what brought you to this point?
It's a good question, Mary Hope. So in my 20s, I lived in the Boston area, and I worked in accounting for a couple of really big firms and traveled in and out of the city in Boston. And I went to school at night with Northeastern University, and I did that for many, many years. And then when my first baby was about to be born, and I looked at it of a commute of 3 to 4 hours round trip each day, right. Having a baby in daycare and doing all of that, I thought, I don't want to do that.
Right.
So I looked for a way to be able to make an income without having to do all of that craziness. And so I went into direct sales. And
real estate, no.
Plastic products for people's homes. And I loved it. I loved it so much because I got to meet different people all the time, and I was having fun with them, but I was also giving them ideas and sharing education with them about, you know, all different kinds of things around the home. So it was wonderful. And
how many years did you do that?
Let me see, from 90 until I retired in 2005. And during that time, I worked and built an enormous team, and then I was promoted to own basically what's called a franchise within that world. And my husband and I did this together for 5 years, and we built an enormous team. We had recognition, worldwide recognition within this company that was sold in over 100 countries, and traveled all over the world, took trips, did amazing things. It was wonderful. But then I could kind of see the writing on the wall with the internet really changing the way people shopped. And, so decided to leave that.
Okay, so that takes a certain kind of person. Mm-hmm. I've been in that kind of sales, and I hated it. Mm-hmm. I hated saying, but I did Mary Kay, right?
Mm-hmm. What was the product?
Yeah, you didn't even say what the product was.
Oh, it was Tupperware?
Yeah.
Oh,
yep.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
So
plastic. I love how you call that,
right.
Plastic in the home.
Yeah. It was such a wonderful, first of all, it was a wonderful American-made product that was made so well, and the quality was so amazing, and it had a great name behind it. And there were so many wonderful things about it, and the training was the best training I ever got. It was not just, how to store your leftovers. It was about, it was personal development and developing others, and becoming, better with different skills. It was so much, and it was just amazing, and my husband and I both loved it.
So that's really interesting. So, because like I said, it takes a certain type of person, but it wasn't the product really that really got you loving. I mean, that was a good product, right?
Yeah.
But what was it that kept you going? You didn't just go into people's home and sell a lot of Tupperware, because you then built a team, you owned a franchise. Like that's not just sales.
That's not the normal. No.
So what was that?
It was all about the people. So my first 8 years was all about going into the home and selling the product and teaching other people how to do things. But then it was finding other people who were looking for what I had and teaching them how to do what I did. And so that's how I grew a successful sales team.
How many people did you have on the team?
At any one time on the team, I want to say we had like maybe 30 people. Okay. And, I drove a free car for years and years and years. I never had to pay for a car.
Was it made of
or
plastic?
Insurance. No. And we loved that. But then I learned about taking it a step further is not just teaching people what I did, but how to teach people how to teach other people what I did. So it was developing leaders. And that really was when everything changed, because I loved that so much, to take people who walked through the door. Some of them had very low self-esteem,
Yeah.
hadn't worked in years, didn't see this as something for them, but then just a little spark, and helping them develop their leadership skills and then become leaders themselves. That was amazing. And at the end, we had a team with over 800 people on it. We had, I think, 45 successful managers. We had 30 other managers that were driving cars from out of our business. So,
Wow. Is this national?
no,
team
it
or
was
is local?
It was at first local, and then at one point we did go nationally with the internet, but it lost that personal touch. And so it was very difficult. It was a transition that many people were trying to make. Some people were more successful at that than I was. I really liked the personal touch and being with people and showing them what I did. I believed always that you can't just tell people, you need to show them. And you need to bring them along with you. And then they would learn, and then you would watch them do it, and then you would help them get better. And so, yeah, I still have such a fondness in my heart for that company, and I'm still in touch with many, many, many people who are with that company, and all around the country. And even this June, when the company was being sold off, their assets were being sold, I made a trip to their Orlando headquarters all by myself. I found out about it on a Tuesday. I landed on Thursday. I went to the headquarters on Saturday, went all through the campus, and saw so many things that were just, just memories. And it was amazing. And my daughter, who went with me because she lives in Florida, she learned a lot about that whole experience too. She was amazed at how big it was and how much they did. And so anyway.
Well, and that was probably pretty neat, because so many things that we do in our businesses, our children are kind of along, but don't really understand.
No.
What a beautiful gift you were able to bring. She was probably like, wow, you mean you did this, Mom? Right? When they're adults, they see it at a whole different level.
Yes.
So when did you see that writing on the wall?
It was 2005. And it was purely a financial decision. We were in a very good position with the company, and I was informed by someone in their finance department that I was the only one in that position. I thought, I think maybe we should make a move. And so we did, but it was very difficult for me emotionally because of all the people that we left behind. So I went into the corporate side of direct sales for several years. That was an eye-opener. And learned a lot from that side, but still just my heart wasn't in it as much. I was mostly, my last business I was with was a company that was developing a product like Zoom before Zoom existed. And so I was teaching people how to do parties online with all the screens, and I was teaching them how to do this. And so this was before even people even knew what Zoom was or anything. So yeah, we saw a lot of naked people walking behind. I mean, we just had all kinds, and the internet was not as robust in many areas as it is now, so there was a lot of issues with connectivity. Anyway, unfortunately, that did not take off, and the writing was on the wall for me in 2015 that I needed to make another change, and so a third career change. And so that's when I said to my husband, I want to go back into real estate, or I want to go into real estate.
Yeah.
He said, okay. He said, I know you'll be good, but I'm going to give you 6 months.
That's a short runway.
At the end of 6 months, you need to be able to pay the mortgage.
Oh, he wasn't messing around.
He was not messing around.
But that's really good.
But he did not bother me through this whole time. He did not ask me, how's it going? Where's it going? Where are the sales? Where are the closings? He didn't, because I would have crumbled probably with that kind of pressure. He let me do it for the 6 months. I had my first closing within 3 months, so that was good. But it was that determination.
Yeah. Well, and he walked through this process and seen you be successful, and what triggered you to be successful.
What triggered me to be
Yeah,
successful?
but he knew that there were certain things. He knew that he had to give you a 6 month window.
Yep.
He also knew not to bother you during those seasons.
Not to harass me, because there's a lot of pressure. I probably put more pressure on myself than anyone else ever could. He recognized that, and so he knew that his pressure wouldn't help. It wouldn't be worse than anything I would say to myself. So, he gave me that free rein, and thankfully it really did work. It really did pay off, and he never had to ask me again about, where money was coming from, because the career took off. In my first year, I believe I closed 12 transactions in that 12-month period, and that was my goal, is one per month. My next year, my goal was 24. I think I landed short at like 20.
How dare you?
I know. And I felt like big L on my forehead.
Yes.
I'm like, oh. And my third year, my goal was like 36. I think I did like 30, 29.
Yeah.
I don't know, something like that again. And I wasn't comparing myself to other people because I had no idea what other people were doing. I didn't know how to look at the reports. We don't talk about recognition about what anybody's doing on a monthly basis. It's more on the yearly basis. And so I just kept my nose to the grindstone and just kept doing it. And then I got a business coach to help me take it to the next level. And I remember clearly that coach, the very first conversation, he's like, "What is it you want?" I said, "If you don't help me make back the money that I'm paying you, then I've already looked up your address. I'm going to come find you."
Is it legal?
Wow.
He said, I'm still with him today. It's been over 6 years. He's a great coach. He's helped me through many things.
But you know what? As you're saying this, you had been in so many other businesses and you knew what it took to run a business.
Mm-hmm.
You weren't, so many people jump into this business after being an employee, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it's so hard to manage yourself. Like, those are the things that people struggle with. You had already done that.
Yes. So
Yeah.
I have the ability to put on the blinders when I'm working at home. And if I'm supposed to be working, I would call it money-making hours. If these are money-making hours, I don't care if there are dishes in the sink. I'm not doing them.
Someday I want to write a book called "The Dishes Can Wait," like a
Yes.
memoir to like the
That
things
would
that
be
don't
great.
matter, right?
Because
Chris, write the book.
Yes, absolutely. And
The dishes can wait.
if someone is bothered by it, there's soap. Go for it. You can do it. Or fill the dishwasher. But I'm not going to let it bother me. So that focus was definitely part of it. And then, COVID hit and all of that, and it was craziness with all the market. And I remember I was, still newer. I was only in like 2 years, and I made a decision I was going to call every single homeowner in the towns of Loudon, Boscawen, and Pennacook.
Wait, say that again.
I was going to call every single homeowner that I could find the contact info for in the towns of Loudon, Pennacook, and Boscawen. And I did.
What motivated you to do that?
I know that I would get, most of the people would not be interested in selling, and that was okay. I was only looking for the ones who were. And, when I got them on the phone, I tried to use humor. I would say, "Hi, my name is Chris. I'm with Keller Williams Real Estate, and I'm calling today because I have buyers who are looking for property in your town, and there's nothing on the market, and I have no idea how to find any other sellers except for looking in the phone book. So here I am. I'm on J today."
I love it.
Yeah.
And what was the response to that?
Most people would laugh.
Yep. And they were all home
Many people were home.
because it's COVID,
Yeah.
right?
And, I had, a few people say not interested, but I never had a single person be mean to me. Never.
That's our greatest fear, isn't it?
It is.
Right.
And what I liked about it was that, if I ran into them at the grocery store, they would not know it was me. I could literally run my card into them and wouldn't know it was me that had called them, 3 months ago.
I love that. That's if I run my
Anonymity.
card. Yeah,
Yeah.
it might happen.
They wouldn't it might happen at Market Basket on a Sunday. Yes, it might. So I just kept going, and it was really hard work, and I was at my desk. And you know what? Here's the thing. I say it was really hard work. No. Ditch digging, that's hard work, okay? Picking up the phone and making a phone call
Is not hard
is
work.
not hard work.
No.
It is mentally,
It's
you have
energy.
to
It's
keep yourself
emotional
going.
energy.
Yes.
Right.
But it's not physical. And there are people out there who are doing physical, hard work on a daily basis.
And we don't do that.
We don't do that. No. So
And we have no desire to do that.
No.
Those nails don't dig.
They do not.
I was gonna say, can you
dig.
hold the nails up and just point them towards the
Sure,
You
yeah.
probably can't see them, but they're like the most fall festive
They are
autumn
fall
nails.
festive,
They've got
yes.
leaves on them. It's
Yes.
awesome.
Those do not dig ditches.
No, they do not.
Or they would break.
So I have a question for you. So when you were saying during your money making hours, so that sort of cold call approach to sellers is one. What are some of the other things that you would do during your money making hours for lead generation that just sort of worked for you for how you wanted to approach things? And were any of those things carryovers specifically from either the corporate side of the training or from the in-person sales back with the Tupperware?
It was more just keeping in touch with people, a lot of that. And at the time, it was phone, it was text, because that's how we could, reach out to people. And it's still the way that I reach out to most people. And it was just a discipline of making sure that I was doing that. He was looking for, I kept a whiteboard. I still keep a whiteboard on my wall of my buyers and things they might be looking for, or my sellers, who are going to be selling in the next several months. And so when I'm sitting there and I see a property pop up, I can then look at my board and see I know someone's looking for that. Who is it? Oh, boom, that's who it is. And I have gotten many sales from that by being able to call somebody back 9 months after a conversation and saying, hey, a condo in this place just popped up. They never do. Here it is. Do you want to go see it? Or this house popped up or something. And just being able to keep those conversations top of mind, keeping the people on that list.
I love that, because I think, as you've been talking about all of these things, right, our business has to change at different times. Even your different careers has to change because of different times. And that's okay. I think so many times when we have to pivot or shift, we think there's something bad with, right? There's something wrong with the first, and we have to run away from it or something. But there are just times. Your last job ran its course, and that's okay.
Yeah.
And you had to pivot, and now it's a different thing. COVID hit, now I love that perspective of generating leads and generating business. Like, okay, here's what I have now. So I do know also you decided, and I'm guessing it's because of your experience with building up other people, you decided at some point to build a team of your own within the real estate world. What motivated you to do that? And and I'm sure it looked perfect right from the beginning.
No.
Because I've built a team it's so seamless.
Yeah. So as a team leader, or as a leader of any group of people, I always feel like you have to lead from in front. You have to walk the walk before you talk the talk.
Yeah.
It was always my goal to be a team leader within the company. But I knew that unless I was doing a good amount of transactions where I could show people this is how to be successful, that I shouldn't be doing that. I felt that I needed to be showing people, look, I'm doing, my best year, I think I did 51 transactions. So I need to be able to say to people, this is what I do, this is how I do it. Right now, within my team, I've got 2 team members who work together, and I think they're one ahead of me right now for the year.
No competition or anything.
You're right. But that's a wonderful thing. And so going back to that and watching someone come in, I'm just thinking of one particular team member who came in who really wanted to do this business so badly. She wanted it so badly, but she was also very nervous. And being able to say, it'll be okay. I'll just hold your hand. We'll get this done. We'll get there. We'll get it done. And being able to train, because in any sales job, or especially in real estate, though, there is so much to know. You cannot just take the 40-hour class, which we don't really use that to sell real estate, but even if there was another 180-hour class, it wouldn't be enough. You only learn by doing, and each experience brings you something new that you learn.
Yes.
And that you have to experience it. And so by helping these people experiencing these things and helping them walk it through and helping them find the answers. Because it's not always about me saying, here's the answer. I might say, you can go look there and you can find that. Or this is a broker question, right? Or different things. They need to learn how to learn. I needed to learn how to learn. Everybody needs to learn how to learn so that you can be better at this craft.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I love doing that. I love that. And I love that now certain team members on my team are ready to start sharing that with other people. And they're excited to do that. And that makes my day.
That's wonderful. Well, and I think you've experienced how much that brings joy to you. And now you're able to do that at another level. So where do you see your business going in the next few years? I know you've had a lot of changes in your life the last couple of years. And so your perspective probably has changed a little bit.
Yes.
Can you share a little bit of that?
Sure. So 100%, I have been known to be a workaholic.
I saw your post the other day.
Which one?
The one clearing out the brush.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I like to say that the border collie is my spirit animal because I get very focused on a goal.
Which
I also get distracted sometimes, but focused and have to, make the things happen. And so, my husband learned to live with my focus and my workaholicness.
He loved you for it.
He did. And then he passed away suddenly a year and a half ago. And that changed my entire life and didn't know where I was going, what I was doing, what was going to happen next, and decided I would take a year before making big decisions and et cetera, et cetera. But I believe I was meant to do this job. I believe I was meant to teach other people and help other people. And I believe I was put here to help other people really be successful. So that's my focus, is to help other people be really successful. And I do that through helping myself with my sales so that I keep in it and I keep setting an example. I'm not sitting back with my feet up on the table. I'm out there doing it. And I believe that's totally important. So, I always told my husband I am never retiring because the idea of sitting down on a Sunday afternoon, if there's sun outside, and watching a movie, I don't care what the weather is. If it's not a blizzard and I can't go anywhere, or a hurricane, I'm doing something. And that might even be things around the house, which is I'm doing stuff around my house now.
But are you doing the dishes?
I have a dishwasher.
Right.
You know what? Diana, who we interviewed last week, said, I'm never going to retire out of real estate. I'm just going to retire out of cooking and cleaning.
Right.
And it's been sticking with me all week long. I'm like, that's my goal, to retire.
Right?
I can stay in real estate for the rest of my life.
And find someone else to do the rest.
Right.
And that's the thing. And I really believe, so I had to hire someone to mow my lawn because I've got a 4-acre lawn. And it would take my husband all day, Saturday, every single Saturday. And, he had to hold his mouth just right to start it. And he had to watch out for this little rock or do this. Not doing it.
Yeah.
So I hired someone. I have a housekeeper. And I believe I am helping them.
You are.
Because that's what they love to do. These are their skills. They're getting paid for it. I'm getting paid to do something else. So by hiring people to do things for me, I look at that as a way of spreading the wealth. I don't have to give it away.
Yeah.
I can hire people who can do these things, and I'm not ashamed to do that.
Yeah. Well, you know what, and that's beautiful, especially the way you described why you built a team, why you've been doing this, is to help others grow. A lot of people, and part of building a team is to be able to leverage so that you don't have to be doing it all yourself. However, your perspective's a little different.
Yeah, that you say that to me, I get it. So I never hired just a showing agent. I always hired agents who could list their own properties and be the buyer agent and sell their own properties. because I wasn't looking to get out of work. I was looking to help someone else get into work. So I guess it's just really different now that you say that.
Question. So when I first got licensed, you were the first person, I think, who actually reached out and said, "Hey, I have an open house. Would you be willing to cover it?"
Wow.
And
Yep,
I was,
I remember.
and I mean, I barely knew you, right? And I was like,
it.
oh, well, okay, right?
I met you,
Right?
at a meeting,
So, but there was another agent not long ago there, and they were saying, "Oh, I'm covering an open house this weekend." I was like, "Oh, who's open house?" And they're like, "Oh, it's Kris LaBrake's." And they were, again, a relatively new agent. And I was like, that Kris is going out there giving opportunities to new agents because you see the value in it.
I
and
love
this just
doing that.
reaffirms it. That's awesome.
I love it. I don't need all the leads myself.
No, but I think that is such a core thing, first of all, of what Keller Williams is.
Yeah.
The more we give, actually, in turn, we do receive more. And I think
Yes.
so many people in this business, especially when things are slowing down, our human reaction is to protect ourselves, right?
Yep.
And yet, that in turn is not the way to succeed.
I 100% agree. The more generous you can be with your time and your ability and what you know, and the more you will get back. I learn from the people on my team. I learn from all the people around. I learn from the new agents. I learn from my sellers and my buyers. I learn things every day. And I would never have that learning without being willing to give of myself.
That's servant leadership. That truly is, right? Like that's the definition of when you're giving to others, not expecting something in return.
I actually would just say it's straight up leadership, right?
Yes. Oh.
Because to
Yes.
me, that's what leaders are. Leaders, as you said, they take action, and they lead by example, but they help motivate from behind, and that's
Yes.
something that I think a lot of people are nervous to do typically because they are afraid of like, oh, well, what if I fail, as opposed to just trying and giving and seeing,
True.
Yeah.
So, two things with that is that I've always believed in making deposits before asking for anything in return.
Absolutely.
So, with all new, whether it doesn't matter who it is, I'm making deposits into their bank account, mentally, making them feel better, or saying something to them that makes their day, or just giving them an opportunity, whatever it is, and then. You know what happens, because there comes a times like when I lost my husband, the people that came forward and helped me, it was amazing, and I'm so grateful for that, like truly grateful. But I feel there are other times where you need help. You want to go away for a weekend. Who can you call? Do you have people you can call?
So was that hard to accept help? Just throwing that out there.
It would have been, and I'm still stubborn that way, but at that time, it was not hard for me because I had a total paradigm shift in my world. Everything slowed down. Nothing mattered at all. Didn't care. Just, had to focus on getting, I won't say better because you don't get better, you get different. So I had to focus on finding that. And I knew I had to do that and knew I couldn't rush through it like I usually do.
That's hard.
And just had to sit back and let things come to me. So yeah, it was hard. And I'm not crazy about asking for help, but I will.
Well, and I think sometimes we need those. I don't want to say we need those times, but those times in our lives, those pivotal moments of our lives, if we slow down enough, and I know you've taken the time to reflect on it, and take the good out of it, it does change our perspective. And what would you say maybe one of those things that your paradigm shift of the way you look at the world or your business or yourself, what's one of those things?
So I'm not sure if this will answer your question, but I'm going to try. So I have started spending my time in a different way, my free time, in building another business, which is a farm
Yes.
Digging ditches. It sounds like digging ditches.
Digging ditches by hand with a little trowel.
Yes.
542 times. Yes, that's what I've done. And I guess because that has made me slow down. It made me learn, because I was always a type that would rush forward and find things. And Matt, my husband, was always the one who would be like, wait a minute, wait. We need to study this. We need to learn about this. So now I do that so that I can be better at it, instead of just rushing forward and making 1,000 mistakes. I'm maybe only making 204 mistakes. So, and being able to appreciate where I am in where I live in the world. I love where I live, Concord, New Hampshire. I love it. I can't see myself ever leaving this area, and deciding that this is a place for me. That and at one time I had said I'm never, ever, ever retiring. I think I might. It probably won't be for another 15 years.
Yeah.
But I can slow down from production while still doing and helping people, and still helping other people be successful. That's the goal.
I love that, and I love that you have slowed down enough to reflect on that, right? Times in our lives, tragedies, good things and bad things, do have effect on our life. Yet so many times we're in such a survival mode, and I know you were in survival mode. Like, you don't have an option but be in survival mode. Yet for you to slow it down after that and be able to say, okay, now what do I want this life to look like? That is a huge thing, a gift you gave to yourself.
Big time. So my farm is more than just a farm growing stuff. My vision is that it's a place where other people can come and be, and just be. So if that's, sitting down in the field and enjoying the aroma, or if it's having, 4 hours to sit by a pool, or if it's being able to set up your artist easel and paint. I wish I could do that, but I know other people
You'll find
who
other
can.
people who will.
I know. I love that. Or if it's a quiet place to be able to write or to read, or just to be able to slow down themselves and maybe find themselves a little bit more. I think that that's really what I'm after. It's more like a sanctuary. I can sit in the middle of my dirt field, and I am watching the birds flying around me, and I'm watching the coyote running around the bottom of the field. I'm watching my dogs mocking me because they're running up and down the hill. Like, this is easy.
What would the Kris of 10 years ago think of this Kris?
I would have thought that I was out of my mind to do this.
Where's the farm?
It's in Concord, in my
Okay.
backyard.
Her home.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah,
great.
Yeah. So we used to have animals. So understand, my husband grew up on a dairy farm. So when we first got together, and all the time until we had this property, he said, "I'm never ever having a farm. I had to milk the cows twice a day. It was so much work. I'm never ever ever ever. We're never ever having a farm." So what do? We got a farm, and we called it Never Ever Farm. And
I didn't know that part.
we
I
had,
love it.
we started off. At one point, we had, I think, 17 animals. We started off with just, our dogs. But then we decided to get alpacas. That was a
Because
foray.
that's the next animal you'd go
Yeah,
for.
that's the next animal.
Dogs and alpacas.
Right, we got alpacas.
Skip the ducks and you just
Yeah,
go right for them.
and they should be easy. I can hear myself convincing
most
my
of the-
husband now.
Most
it
of
should be
chickens
easy.
next.
Yeah, we had chickens.
Yeah, but usually they come before alpacas.
That's right. The chickens came after.
Yes.
And then we had rabbits, and we had, and then we got a pony, because the ultimate goal was the ponies, but I knew I had to get the alpacas first, and then we'd have the stalls,
That's
so
the
now
dog
we
and
could
pony
fit a
show.
pony. Yes. So at one time we had 3 horses. They were all rescues. And after my husband passed, I still had the dogs, and I have a parakeet. And we
And
still
a few
had,
bats.
and some bats. Not pets. But in the house. I still had 3 chickens left, and I remember my husband, twice a day, every day, he would go out, carry 2 big buckets of water out to the chicken coop every day to make sure they had water. And that was his favorite part of the day. He said it's the only bit of peace I get on a daily basis. We're never getting rid of the chickens, even though we complained about them. He said, I'm never getting rid of the chickens. But I realized that in winter, it would be physically impossible for me to do that, and it wouldn't be fair for the chickens. So much to my Border Collie's dismay, I had to give away the 3 chickens. And when I build a barn that has water to it, I will get chickens back. But it's not in the cards right now because I love them. And also mini donkeys.
Mini donkeys.
Do you know how noisy they are?
Yes, I do.
I can't wait.
I love that that's your dream.
Mini doll.
And I'm glad I don't live next door to you.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow. So, since you've had so many experiences and you have led agents, and especially new agents, what would you say is the one piece of advice you would give to an agent if someone's thinking about getting into real estate or just got their license? What you as a person, what would be that one piece of advice?
Stop thinking and start doing. All of the training in the world, you'll never get it all before you know it all. You just won't, because you need to learn it out there. Stop making plans. Stop making lists. Stop branding yourself and get out there and actually talk to people and get showing houses. I remember Frank DiDonato talking about he would go to all these open houses, or he would just look at the houses that were vacant on the MLS and he would schedule showings to get in and out of them and learn about them. And you've got to get out there to do it so that you understand it. Go to the open houses, as many as you can, and fill in as many as you can. I had an agent call me last week, and she's not brand new. She's a really good agent. She called me on Tuesday right after the office meeting because I had put on the office meeting that I had a coming soon. Within 30 minutes, she was on the phone to me. Do you need anybody to do an open house?
I love it.
I'm like, as a matter of fact, I do.
Yes.
She got the open house. So just go do it. Stop waiting for it. The perfect time is right now. Right now. There is no perfect time of day to call. Call it 10, call it 2, call it 6. It doesn't matter. Just call.
Just do it.
Thank
I love
you.
it.
Yeah.
I love it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that's really, there's so much here to unpack. And I love that. I think this is why I love this podcast, because in people's stories, there's so much there, right? And even just talking it through, and even me observing or Andrew observing, we see so many things that you might not even see in your story, right? And there is a reason agents succeed. There's a reason agents fail. And why try to reinvent the wheel when we have people that have done it? It doesn't look pretty. It never does.
No.
And I think that's the other part of these stories is, right, we all start from scratch, figuring it out. It's messy. It doesn't go as we expect. Our lives don't go as we expect. That doesn't stop. The successful people don't stop because of problems. And I think even, your circumstances a year and a half ago not only changed your whole world, but you were able to work through it to a different level, different success. Right?
Yep.
So,
Yeah, I'm happy.
yeah.
While you were just talking about that, it made me realize we haven't had anybody on who gave up, which I would be very interested to talk to, right?
You got to find them.
I know. Yeah, we got to find
Because they're not in the building.
They're not
No, they're not in the building, but I'm sure,
It's true.
because we've been able to hear and see so many different through lines from so many people from so many different walks of life who have had success in the industry, give such great advice. And I want to know why some of the advice isn't absorbed by some, or like what the real holdback is, because just like what you were saying, Chris, there's so many people who come in, and I felt this when I came in. You come in, and there's such a plethora of stuff that you feel like you've got to tackle and be a master of all at once, and it overwhelms you and it kind of washes you away with the tide because you get swept up in it. So knowing like what those things are to kind of better diagnose, right? Like what is the thing that sort of pushes people out the door more so than any would be interesting.
However, I would argue why there are reasons people quit. But the stories of success are so important because we all can quit.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense? Like, we all have quit at things. We have, all in certain ways. Some are good things to quit at. And I would argue that some people have decided this is not the career, and it's good that they've moved on.
Because there's something else for them, and that's okay.
I've had agents say, I don't like showing houses. Well, then you should probably not sell houses, because that's going to be part of your business, right? And yet, so many people believe that people who are successful just have it. Right?
Just like selling sunset, yes.
Right?
Yes, right.
And yet, that's not the story we tell. So
No.
even though we haven't told why people fail, we've told people how hard it has been. We've told of a lot of people about to quit at year two.
Right.
Like big agents that were one deal away from quitting, within a month of quitting. I think we all know, we know how to quit. Right?
Yeah, but knowing what causes people to
Yeah.
quit, I think that's what I'd be interested in sort of, because, just about every agent that's been on there sort of hits a point where they go, I almost had to leave, or I didn't think I could do this. My partner did. My partner told me I could do this, and so I did it. So it's like, it's very interesting
Yeah.
to sort of see the mindset, shift from
Absolutely.
person to person, and how the slightest difference can put you on a success trajectory or a out the door trajectory. It's
Yeah, it's a determination, and I know because I have a difficult personality in that I believe that everything I do is the right way.
What?
And not everything.
I have
that,
never experienced that in my life. I've never been like
Right.
that. My
And
husband would say I never have a
never.
strong opinion.
Yeah. So sometimes I listen to training and I'm like, yeah, no. Even I've said to my coach, nope, not doing it. Nope, not doing it. But then if I get to the point where I really need to do something, I'll say, all right, I'll go do that and I'll show you it doesn't work. But I'll go do it. And then I will really do it. And guess what? It does work. So, if you're someone who really feels like you need to learn more or what have you, I get it. You do need to learn more. But make yourself talk to 10 people a day before you get into another training class or go to another realtor meeting. Just have the conversations with people who could actually lead you to business, because the other realtors, they're not going to give you business. They're looking for their own. So get out there and still get your training, but make yourself do the important things first.
Yeah, I love it. Well, thank you so much, Kris. I so appreciate your story. And now I have all these other thoughts. And I think we're going to need a podcast to break it down and have a conversation ourselves. But no, I really do appreciate it, and your vulnerability, and also seeing there's different sides of how to do this business. There's different sides of how to do business, right? You can have different types of business and be successful in all of those.
That's so true. And,
right?
I just got to say, two of my top agents are such outgoing, high I type personalities. And when they're in front of people, they're just amazing, and they can make friends with everybody in the room. That would be like my husband on a plane ride. He would be like somebody's best man by the time the plane rode. Meanwhile, I was reading a book because I'm secretly an introvert.
Yeah.
So, and I remember this agent, one of them saying to me, it just kills me being on the phone. I just can't do it. I'm like, then don't do it. Get out there and go meet people. Go to the coffee shop. Go to the grocery store. Go here. Go buy flowers. Go talk to people. And don't sit on the phone. For me, I'm the phone, because face-to-face, I'm terrified. But for them, they need to be in front of people. And so find your way.
I love that didn't even come up in our conversation.
Yeah.
That's usually, right? People are like, I don't like to talk to people. But I think your why of why you got into real estate, of the next step, was so strong. It didn't matter what type of personality you were.
No, I'm a one-on-one. Put me in a room full of 30 people I don't know, and I will be out the door in about 10 seconds. But meanwhile, my other agents would be meeting everybody and having them over for lunch. So it's just a different personality.
But I love
type.
that it really wasn't because you love people that you've been so successful. Your other job in Tupperware, that's all people as well. But you had a drive for something bigger. And I think that's the biggest thing is, if you don't have a reason why you're doing it, it is a miserable job. Right?
It's true. If you're just doing it because you feel like you have to do it.
I have to think of my whys all the time, because
Yes.
my big why changed.
Yes.
And I was literally at my kitchen table Sunday morning, and winter is coming, especially for those of us north of the wall. It's coming. And
Conquers the wall.
Yeah, no, it's the tolls.
Oh, the tolls.
The tolls are the
tolls
wall.
are the
Really?
wall.
How did
Am I
not
correct
know
that your husband never would go below the tolls? He would not come down to anything because it was past the tolls.
I got him to come down. No, he would not leave Concord. So I did get him to come down to Manchester a few times, but it was tough.
The wall.
The
It's
wall. Yes.
Okay.
So where was I going with this?
It was
Something
Sunday
about-
morning.
Oh, Sunday morning, and I was
the wall.
having a tough time. Oh my gosh, winter is coming. I've got so much to do. I've got to get ready for winter. Also, it's getting darker. It's getting colder. I like to be by the pool. I'm not doing that in January. My kids are grown. What am I going to do? I was feeling depressed.
Mm-hmm.
So I realized I needed to make some new goals for me that would make me excited about the coming winter months. So our Halloween Howl, I'm really excited about that. We've got our Midnight Merriment coming up the first weekend in December. That's a big deal. I'm excited about that. I'm going to see the Rockettes with my granddaughter. I'm excited about that.
Yes.
What other things can I do? So I put them into a list of these are the things I'm going to do to make me happier.
That will fill me.
That
during
will
this-
fill me. And I'm going to do like a cookie baking thing. I'm going to invite like my grandkids and some of my friends, their grandkids, and have them over. Let the parents go shopping. We'll make cookies. Just reasons to have something to look forward to. Because I'm looking forward to next summer and how to pay for all the things I want to do next summer. But I need to look forward to things in between now and then, and they can be smaller things, but there's something to look forward to.
You have to have that.
And I have that in my car now, on the mirror in the bathroom and on the refrigerator.
I love it.
So I see it, and I know, like, this is what I'm working for next. So
I love it. Well, thank you so much, because there's so many nuggets I think are so important for so many people. So
I think I talked too long. I'm sorry.
No.
not at all.
Okay.
No, I no, it's exactly. And I think there's so many things that I think are so important to resilience, and that comes up a lot too, and also knowing your why. And we haven't had as many conversations about that, but that is the core. And if you don't, you can't be. You can be successful to a point. There are some people that can be successful pretty quickly in real estate just because of who they are. But if you don't have a why, that's
You run
where
out
you're.
of gas real quick.
You do.
And it's even just to help other people find a why. So, I feel that if I'm successful and I'm able to get certain things in my life, that's great. But by hiring other people, I'm helping other people get certain things they want in their life. But not only that, I'm showing other people that that can be done. And that's the most important thing of all, is to be that example that, Chris put in a pool this year. Yep, and you could too. You could.
Yes.
And there's nothing to stop you. If you're determined enough to do it, you can do it. And I think that's really so important for me, being that example.
I love it. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for
Thanks.
being here. And will you come back again?
Sure thing.
Yeah, season 2.
That's right.
Season 2.
two,
Because
yeah.
we're almost at the end of our season.
I know, that's right. We're kind of wrapping up our season 1. We just decided on this because we're at episode 42. So if we don't take a break, then that's every week for a year that we've been on. So we're
Yeah.
going to take a little
We have a few more
holiday
episodes.
hiatus. Yeah, exactly.
So you're
Yeah.
one of our last of season 1. So thank you so
Aw.
much, Chris.
Well,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah.
Good way to close out.
Yeah.
So thank you again for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and follow us on both YouTube and Spotify, and send us your questions for anything you'd like for us to talk about on the show. Thanks, everybody.
See ya. There we go. Thanks for joining us for another episode of Behind the Sign, Real Stories from Real Estate.
We hope you enjoyed today's conversation and gained a little insight into the world behind those for sale signs.
Today's episode was brought to you by Keller Williams Realty Metropolitan, proudly serving New Hampshire, Vermont, Maine, and Massachusetts. A special thank you to our agents, leadership, and partners at KW Metro for their continued support.
And thanks to you, our amazing listeners and viewers. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe so you never miss an episode.
Leave us a review or comment. We love hearing your feedback, and it helps more people discover the show.
And if you have a real estate story you'd like to share or a question you want answered on a future episode, reach out to us at metro.kw.com or find us on Instagram, handle at KWMetroNH.
Until next time, we'll see you
Behind the Sign.